Alrighty, Fit Friends. So I realized that the video that got flagged didn't get posted after it was live. So there's only a few of you that actually got the how to navigate holiday parties without sabotaging your fit efforts video. So this is going to be a quick, condensed version of all the tips that we talked about that night. So comment below. Let me know, what are some of your favorite traditional Christmas things that you eat around Christmas time? Guys, I love sugar cookies. Sugar cookies, iced or uniced, but iced preferable. I love sugar cookies. I love the chocolate that comes in the stockings. And I love that big old Christmas meal, that traditional turkey, homemade rolls, all that stuff, right? And I enjoy a good old-fashioned party to go and enjoy, whether it's at work party or whatever. And so I know how it is. I'm with you on this. And every single strategy that I'm sharing with you today, I've used to help me, and I know it can help you. So we're going to get right to it. I have 3 main tips for you, and along with each tip, there's at least 1 or 2 implementation strategies and hacks to share with you. All right, so are you ready? Ready? Are you ready, Gizmo? Gizmo says, yes, we're ready. So tip number 1 is get your mind right. So if you follow me and my workouts, you probably heard me say that several times. It's all about getting the mind right. And so when you are getting ready to go into a social situation, you want to de-stress and prepare yourself for what's about to happen. First of all, you want to de-stress as much as possible because we don't want those emotional eating triggers that we talked about, right, last week. So make sure you don't go in there stressed, and you want to prepare yourself by reminding yourself of your new fit identity. So whether at home before you leave or even in the car, right before you get out of the car to go into that party or social event, you need to, number 1, say to yourself your new fit identity, whatever that was. Remind yourself of the person you are, right? And the person that you are striving to become more like, right? That new fit identity, you might not be there 100% yet, but that's it's inside of you and you're striving. So remind yourself of your new fit identity. And if you need to, take a couple minutes before you go into the party to take a couple deep breaths and to kind of just get into the moment, become more mindful, and just less stressed, to let whatever's stressing you, let it go. All right? So another thing about getting your mind right, you need to remind yourself that this is not the last time that you're going to have a chance to indulge this season. I am so guilty of this mindset. I've been victim to it. I've let myself get trapped in this thought process of where you say to yourself, I'm going to indulge as much as I want to tonight, and then tomorrow I'm back on track and I'm not going to indulge. And in this holiday season, I might say, I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to be able to eat whatever I want tonight, and then for the rest of the holiday season, I'm not going to eat anything else. And as I'm telling myself that, I have best of intentions to actually follow through. And I really believe myself, like, tomorrow I'm back on it. But be truthful. 99% of the time, we don't follow through, right? We just go ahead and indulge and eat all we want. And we might be good for a couple days, but the next time you're faced with something, you end up indulging maybe a little bit more again. So the problem with that mindset is it gives you permission in your head to go crazy, to not live with balance. So the problem with having that attitude of restriction, that attitude of, after tonight, I can't do this again. I can't have these foods again after tonight or after today. It gives you license and permission to go crazy. But we're not about that. We're about balance, right? So don't let yourself get caught up in that mindset. When you catch yourself saying, oh, I'm going to eat all I want now because I'm going to not let myself eat it again for a while, I want you to remind yourself that part of your new fit identity is you live in balance. I want you to tell yourself, I'm the type of person who lives in balance. I'm the type of person that can have treats in moderation and enjoy them and then stop, right? So make that part of your mantra before and after. Well, before, during, and after. Always make it part of your mantra, but especially before and during the social events, remind yourself, I'm the type of person who lives with balance and moderation, even in my celebrating and even in my treats at the celebrations. So, tip number 1, get your mind right. All right? Tip number 2 is put all those extra calories to good use. Now, having a plan like this helps me feel less stressed and helps me just enjoy those extra calories and those extra indulgences. So remember that body recomp, and I use the term body recomp because not everybody's dieting, not everybody's trying to lose weight, but most of us in some way are trying to shift our balance in our body, right? Our body composition in some way, whether it's leaning out, whether it's gaining more muscle, whether you are somebody who actually struggles with being underweight and you're trying to gain some weight, right? So I refer to it as body recomposition. So our body recomposition efforts are all just about energy balance, energy in and energy out. So if you just remind yourself of that, you can think of these extra indulgences and these extra holiday parties as just extra fuel to fuel really awesome, intense workouts, right? Or maybe extra fuel to be able to go out and enjoy an extra walk during your lunch break, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be super intense, crazy workouts, but think of them as opportunities to get out there and be more active and to really put them to good use. Some of my best workouts have been the day after I indulged, the day after I had an extra big meal or I feasted a little bit or I had extra carbs and extra fatty things, because I was able to wake up feeling okay, not hungry, not restricted in any way, and it helped me like get to the gym and have that mindset as, yes, I'm going to crush this workout. And often when you have that extra energy in your body, sometimes you wake up feeling a little or a little bit bloated still after a big thing, but once you get moving in the gym, it starts to wake up your digestive system. It starts to like really break down that energy and help you break it down for your workout, and you end up feeling fabulous. And you're like, yes, I can keep pushing. So I want you to think and to really strategize and tell yourself, I am going to put these extra calories to good use, whether it's making an extra effort to work extra hard in your workouts before and after, or maybe planning like an extra cardio session in for the week. Guys, like I said, like I actually get excited a little bit because I love fitness, y'all know that, but like I get excited for the workouts the day after I have a big feast because I know that they're going to be awesome. I know that I'm going to feel great and energized, and I'm going to have that, and I just know that I'm going to feel 10 times better after that awesome workout. So there's actually science behind the fact too that strategic refeeds or strategic overfeeding can help your metabolism and help reboot your metabolism because it helps upregulate a hormone called leptin. So leptin is a hormone that affects the size of your fat cells in the body and your hunger and satiety cues. And I go into more on this, and I talk and I educate my online clients more about this. I'll just give you a quick overview. And if you want to learn more, if you think you might want one-on-one coaching, reach out and we can see if we might be a good fit, right? But anyway, I digress. So there's more and more research coming out on this, and I'm going to reference one, but like I said, there's more and more research coming out on this. I'm so excited about it because refeeds, especially in the bodybuilding community, people have been using refeeds and they've found that it has helped them and helped boost their metabolism, but there hasn't been much research. And more research is coming out to validate this, which is awesome. But I want to reference one where it was just, they took 10 healthy females. And for 3 days, they did the isogenic diet, which means that they were very protein based. They didn't have a ton of carbs, all right, or fats in this isogenic diet. And so for 3 days, these 10 healthy females, they did the isogenic diet. And then they carb loaded. They got in their extra calories and took in a ton of extra carbs. And what they did was they measured the leptin levels, and they measured they measured the amount of calories they burned during their workout, and then the amount of overall calories during the day that they burned. So what they found was, after that feasting on carbs and higher carbs after that depletion period, what they found was that the leptin levels increased by 28%, and their overall basal metabolic rate increased by 7%. So just know that when you take in a little extra carbs that way and you're indulging a little bit more, that science is actually showing that it can boost your metabolism. Like, it didn't help them burn more calories. They didn't necessarily burn more calories during their workout. That stayed the same. But it did, their rest during the day, right? Their normal metabolic rate increased. So it helped, just during the different things of their day. So feel confident knowing that an indulgence here and there, not letting that holiday party that you had on Saturday turn into that trigger of overeating for 3 days all the way into next Wednesday, but that one strategic indulgence at that party, that night of a little extra carbs and fat, it can actually help boost your metabolism. All right? That, combined with the fact that it'll give you more energy to help you really push yourself to do more, is an overall win-win, right? All right, so number 2 is put those calories to good use, and don't let yourself stress. Let yourself know that a strategic overfeeding can actually help boost your metabolism. So number 1 is get your mind right. Number 2 tip is put those calories to good use. Strategize. Are you going to have an extra good workout the day of? Are you going to plan an extra workout, cardio or training or weight training that week? Or are you just going to say, I'm going to crush it the next day in the next workout? Strategize that way. Put those calories to good use. And that already brings us to tip number 3, our final tip for the day, which is you need to go in with a plan. You can't go in there all willy-nilly, because if you know that you might be prone to those hyperpalatable foods triggering that response of overeating. So go in with a plan. All right, so a few things I want to talk about here. Going in with a plan. First of all, be strategic with your adult beverages and sodas. I mean, yes, we want to enjoy them, but they are high calorie and very low nutrient dense foods. They're basically just empty calories. So if you know that there's certain foods you want to eat and enjoy, don't waste your calories by drinking them. Be strategic with that. All right? If you want to feel fancy at the party, ask for sparkling water in a fancy cup. All right? So be strategic with the calories you're drinking. And it's always a good idea anyway not to overdrink. So be strategic with your drinking, whether it's soda or your favorite adult beverages. All right. Number 2, be mindful of your portion sizes. So up here in one of the corners here, I have the picture of the hand method for guesstimating your portion sizes. And it's a pretty good way to do that. I posted this hand method on our challenge page too, so that you could print it up. So you want to be able to be mindful of your portion sizes, and nobody's going to carry a scale around, right? So I want you to practice using the hand method. In general, a good size of protein for you is the size of your palm, right? A fist is generally a size of a complex carb like rice. All right? So I want you to be familiar with the hand method. So while you're at the party and filling your plate, you're getting the appropriate amount, what size serving you're getting, how many servings you're getting. You're able to guesstimate. Be familiar with it. You can even save that image on your phone, and it's not going to be weird. Like if you're like, oh wait, I can't remember, you can like take a peek at it, as you know, or you could like look at your plate, look at that, and guesstimate what's on your plate, so you're staying mindful of how much you're eating. All right. So be smart. Limit your alcohol, your soda consumption. Be mindful of portion sizes using the hand method. All this is part of your plan going in, right? And the next one, when you eat at the party, I want you to strategize about your first plate. Your first plate needs to be as many like fruits and vegetables and a good serving size of protein. So the first thing you eat is going to be the things that are best for you. These are going to be the high fiber, high protein foods that are going to help you feel full and satiated, so that you're less likely to be ravenous on the other things, right? Because you're going to be mindful. You're going to be telling yourself, I feel satisfied and full. I don't feel super hungry. So it's going to be easier for you to indulge in those favorite treats a little bit more smartly, right? I don't even know, more smartly. I don't even think that's good language, good English, but that's okay. Just smartly. All right. So the first plate that you eat, you are looking for the fruits and vegetables that are available to you and the proteins. I got my husband getting ready to come inside. All right. So the next thing with going in with the plan, the next thing you want to keep in mind is, I forget. Okay. So the next thing of going in with the plan is plan on being a mindful, intuitive eater. So mindful eating, there's a whole movement around it. There's a whole, like I could go on and on about mindful eating, and I do with my online clients as I talk to them and educate them about different strategies and nutritional strategies. But for you guys, I'll kind of give you just a couple of key points. So as you're at the party, as you're eating, I want you to be mindful, first of all, by eating slowly. Take time to chew your food completely. I don't want you to sit there like counting your bites. Like, I'm not going to say chew your food at least 35 times, but I want you to take time to really chew your food. If you tend to be a super fast eater like me, I'm always the one that's done first. I just like scarf it down if I'm not mindful. Really take time to, first of all, smell the food, take in the aroma. Part of being mindful is really savoring the food and taking time to appreciate the food, starting with the way it smells. Let the smells fill your nose, start to kind of get your saliva going, help you start salivating, because that's going to help you digest your food completely and get all the nutrients out that you can, right? So start with appreciating the aroma. And then as you put it into your mouth, take note of the texture. And as you chew it, take time to think about what flavors are you sensing? Is there something kind of unexpected? Is there some spice or herb that you know what I mean? So go slow, savor each bite, appreciate each bite. And as you chew it, take note to feel how the texture changes in your mouth. Chew completely. And then swallow after you're like, okay, I've chewed completely. And you've really taken time to appreciate that. So part of eating slowly is chewing completely. Put your fork down between bites, right? Take a bite, put it down. As you're chewing and listening to the conversations around you and enjoying it, put your fork down between bites, all right? And then part of being mindful, intuitive eater, huge, paying attention to your satiety cues. So I'm going to put up, I don't know which corner here, this hunger scale, right? So on the hunger scale is you're so hungry you would eat your freaking dog, right? You're to the point where it doesn't matter whatever is put in front of you, no matter how unappetizing it is, it looks appetizing because you're that hungry. And 10 on the scale is you've eaten yourself sick, like literally you want to vomit. You are sick. Right? So on this hunger scale, you want to get to like 5, 6, maybe even 4, 5, 6, 7, right? That's to where you want to be. You want to start eating around 4. So you don't want to go to the party super hungry. So make sure that you've eaten during the day and or you've had a good, healthy snack with a combination of a lean protein, healthy carb, and a little bit of fats before you go in, right? At least a couple hours before you go to the party. But 2, anytime you're eating, you want to start eating around 4 to where it's like, I could eat. Start thinking about it. I could eat. I'm not terribly hungry, but I could eat. Maybe that's when you start to think about preparing your food. So by the time it's ready and it's ready to go, you're eating. So around 6 or 7, level 6 or 7, just stop. When you start to feel satisfied and you're like, I feel full, but not overly full. And I feel like I've eaten enough to where I don't need to eat again for a couple hours, for a few hours. Just stop eating. Pay attention to your satiety cues. And eating slowly is going to help you, your body, your mind catch up with your belly, right? So that you don't overeat. Because remember, it takes a bit for the belly to tell the mind, for those cues to happen, for you to be like, yeah, I have enough. So eat slowly, chew completely, put the fork down in between bites, and pay attention to satiety cues. So have in mind this scale. On a scale of 1 to 10, where am I? Right? When you start to feel satisfied and I've eaten enough, I feel good. Maybe I could eat some more, but maybe I don't need to. Start to slow down. Stop. Tell yourself stop. Tell yourself I'm going to take a break for 20 minutes and I can eat a little bit more in 20 minutes if I still want to. Right? That's part of that mindset, not coming from a mindset of scarcity and telling yourself you can't have it, but that mindset of abundance. There's abundance here. I don't have to eat it all now because I can have some later if I really want it. Okay? So, know that food scale. Have it in mind. Yes. All right. So the next part of going in with a plan is, just like we talked about earlier, remember with the marshmallow experiment and distraction and practicing delayed gratification, right? When we talked all about that with our emotional eating, and part of forming healthy habits is manipulating your environment. Well, you don't have control over your environment, right? When you go out to a social event. So I want you to think about ways to manipulate yourself within that environment to distract yourself, to make the healthiest choices, the pathway of least resistance for you in that situation, right? So distract yourself. First of all, don't hang around the buffet table. Don't stand right next to the buffet table and carry on conversations to where that food is right there, your plate in hand, boom, right? No. If there's somebody that catches you by the buffet table, say, hey, why don't we go over here? Walk away from the buffet table to conversate, to mingle, all right? Number 2, once you're done eating, put your plate away. If it's a disposable plate, throw it away. If it's not, set it down somewhere for the servers, for the people that are going around to come and pick it up. Holding on to that plate is just going to be a reminder that you can eat. And it's going to be so much easier to go in seconds, thirds, and overeat. So don't hang out by the buffet table. Put your plate away once you're done eating. And then you can take it a step further by actually turning your back to the food table, right? So wherever you are in the room, you don't want that food to be in the background to where you can see it in the corner of your eye. Manipulate yourself in the situation to distract yourself from the food once you're done with it, once you feel satisfied, right? In that scale, you're like a 6 or 7. Manipulate yourself so that you're not facing the food. And you can do this very nonchalantly, right? Just move around. Whoever's talking to you, they're going to mirror you. They're going to move around with you. All right? So, manipulate yourself in the situation so that you can distract yourself from the food once you've had enough for the night. Okay? And then the last thing, going along with this, you can even suggest, especially when you're with your family, you can suggest doing, depending on the situation, non-related food activities to hang out with and mingle with. So think about these social gatherings. the food isn't the most important thing. It's just the icing on the cake. The most important thing is socializing and making connections with people. So if that's at work, take the time to, like a work party or another social party, be excited about meeting new people and finding interesting new people and connecting that way and networking that way, right? If you're with your family, get excited and remind yourself that the focus is reconnecting one-on-one with some of my favorite people and my most loved people, and turn your focus to that. Remind yourself, this party isn't about the food. This party is about me connecting with people. And then once you've enjoyed the food, turn your focus to that. And one of the things you can do, especially with loved ones and people that you know and that you love to have fun with, right? Suggest non-food related activities to do to connect. Whether that's with really good conversation, whether it's without pulling out a board game, or suggesting, hey, let's go for a walk around the neighborhood and enjoy the holiday lights. All right? You could start a new tradition, non-related food tradition that really helps you make connections and connect one-on-one in a meaningful way with your favorite people. Use this, think of it as an opportunity to reconnect in a really special way with the people you love. All right? Okay, so the last thing of going in with the plan, follow the 1 bite rule. And this really has to do with strategy around your nutrition. The 1 bite rule is, if you take a bite of something and you don't love it, you don't have to finish it. You don't have to eat it all the way. Why waste your calories on something you don't thoroughly enjoy, right? And this goes with the whole party. If you don't see anything on the table, chances are this won't happen, but it may. Anything on the table that you're thoroughly excited about, you know that you can go home and eat something maybe at home that you would enjoy more. You can maybe taste the stuff, but the 1 bite rule says if you don't thoroughly enjoy it, you don't have to eat it. Put it down, set it aside, right? So I know I've used all of these strategies to help me navigate through the holiday, not just holiday, but any social gatherings. They have helped me. I know they're going to help you. I want you to comment below the video what stood out for you. What really was like, aha, I can do that. I'm going to do that. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being patient with me, even though this one didn't get posted and it got flagged for whatever reason. And I want you to continue with your healthy efforts all the way through the season. You can do it. Have a fabulous day, everyone. Bye.